Yeah, g'day everyone and welcome back to the Gold Coast Titans Frontline podcast. Dane here from Clarkey's Rugby League column, joined every week by my co-hosts Russ from Dani and Blake. We are now live all over social media, so make sure you get involved with the show rather. Share your thoughts and let's all talk Titans together. Russ, how you going, my friend?
Good, mate. It was annoying not having to watch the Titans this week, but it was good not having to worry about them as well and getting 2 points, I guess. 2 points at this stage is something we need. It's hard to come by.
What's kind of weird is we are super close to the 8, but we've had 2 buys where the other teams haven't had buys. Yeah. So in some ways it's a little bit of false hope, but not if we catch fire, right? Like we can still catch fire and make a run easy, in my opinion, with where we're currently situated on the ladder. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I feel like we can, but like you said, other teams have had no buys or 1 buy, and we've had 2, so you've got to add their points in as well. You know what I mean? I don't know. We've got a lot to improve, especially this week. We've got a really hard task. So
we do definitely, mate. Welcome into all of our viewers that are with us here, no matter where you are on social media. If you are on the Titans Frontline YouTube channel, then we will be able to bring your comments up on screen, as you can say. G'day to AJ. Massive news about Josiah. What do you boys think? Well, I'll tell you what, AJ, that was our next segment. We were going to talk Titans news, so let's talk Josiah Pahulu. Mm-hmm. It's a tough one, right, Russ? Because you want to come out and you don't want to fence sit when you're a content creator. But there's obviously something that we don't know the full situation of. Now, there's going to be the club story here and the player's story. Yeah. The player's story, which was leaked to the media, I would presume through Josiah or his manager last year, was he was set to receive a bonus for playing 20 games for us, and we rested him in the final game against the Panthers when he wasn't injured. So I can understand the frustration if that's true, but I don't think our management would let go of Josiah Pahulu with the Bulldogs and Storm chasing him, the top 2 teams at the moment, without good reason. I just can't get my head around that, mate. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's a bit of it's a funny one, to be honest. Pretty much he's gone from, I can see why he would want to go since he was leaving next year anyways. I can see why. He's in a team that's fighting for the spoon right now, to a team that can potentially win a comp. He can go there this year and win a comp. So from his perspective, I can see why he doesn't. I hope he does well. But from a Titans perspective, what are we doing? He's like our young gun forward. He looked so good against Canberra off the bench, and he's hardly had any opportunity. And it's probably because we know he is going. But still, he was under contract, and we need players. We signed Ryan Sutton, didn't we? But I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of him, and I hope he does well.
Yeah, I think we have signed Ryan Sutton. Reports indicate we do. So perhaps releasing Josiah is what has opened up a spot in our top 30 for Ryan to come in. Ryan, definitely more experienced, played in a Super League grand final. I think he might have played in the Raiders grand final in 2019. If not, he joined the year
after. For a while. What has he?
No, he's been out with injuries for a long time. Yeah. And certainly if you're talking future, short term right now, Ryan Sutton will help us more this year. But the reality is Josiah Pahulu could have been a career player for the Titans. Easy. He could have been our Spencer Laniu, what he was for the Panthers, where he brings that energy and momentum from the bench. So it's tough. I would love to be able to confirm some details before I give too firm of a take from the club's perspective, because I can't wrap my head around it, if I'm absolutely honest. It feels like he's a player we should have been keeping, especially when you consider his girlfriend plays in our Titans NRLW squad.
Yeah, that's right. And like you said before, we didn't play him. He would have got a bonus if he played a certain amount of games last year, and we didn't play him. We need to keep these guys. And you sort of go I don't blame him if he wants to go then. He's a young talent, and he's going to be a good forward. I'm telling you now, he will flourish under Bellamy than Serraldo. He will. Yes. He will be one of the top props, I guarantee, in the next 2 years.
Yep. I wouldn't say top 2, but top 2 to change.
He'll be a top prop, one of the top end props. Yeah.
Sorry, I misheard you there. I thought you said top 2. He'll be an elite bench prop. He will be someone that consistently brings something from the interchange for the Melbourne Storm. I've got no doubt on that. And as Boyd Star says on YouTube, I can't imagine where the Titans would be without our captain in Tino. That's what else it doesn't make sense. It's not like he was the main forward with too much expectation in our pack. The reality is he was a young gun learning off the Queensland front row currently in Moeki, Fotuaika and Tino. So I'd love for the club, and I know they're in a difficult situation as a professional organisation. They can't exactly share confidential discussions and stuff, but I'd just love to know that extra perspective as to why this has occurred, because I think he really is a player I would have loved to keep, man.
Yeah, 100%.
We were a little bit late today, guys. The reason for that was we actually saw the Fox Sports post that Reid Marnie is able to negotiate with rival clubs immediately. I suppose we can speculate a little, Russ, or at least talk about it. He's a Queensland boy. Do you think we're any chance, and would you even want us to be a chance in the Reid Marnie sweepstakes?
I think we'll be a chance for him, but like, do I think I feel like he'll go to the Cowboys because they're losing Reece Robson. They're going to be on the hunt for a 9 more than us. We've still got Sammy Verrills. I think he will probably go north. He is a Queenslander, like you said. Do I want him at the club? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm
on
the fence.
No offense to Reid Marnie. I don't like a lot of his on-field antics.
I'm the same.
I think there is such thing as leaving it on the field, but as a fan, like, the game doesn't end, and we're not players, right? We don't leave it on the field. We still react afterwards. We think about it. We see it week in, week out, and so he does have that little bit of grub about him. He reminds me of like a Michael Ennis, quality player, but just has that chirpy side to him. But what I will say is he does add a tough edge defensively to sides. Not saying that Sam Verrills doesn't for us, because he definitely does as well. So if we were to, enter the race to sign Reid Marnie, so to say, I don't think it'd be the worst decision the club could make. But I do think a lot of fans would probably be offside with it because of his on-field antics, mate.
Well, like you just said, he brings a bit of that grubbiness to the game, and sometimes maybe that's what we need. Like, Greg Bird was one of my favorite players when he played for the Titans, and he had that in him. And maybe when he was there, that was when the Titans were decent. We were like, so maybe we need a player like that, but I don't know if it's Reid Marnie. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like every team needs a good grub, like a Jared Warrior-Hargraves, a Mick Ennis, a Reid Marnie, a Greg Bird, love you, Birdie. Every team has, had that one player that toes the line and sometimes oversteps it. So it wouldn't be the worst thing. But I agree with you. I think Cowboys probably makes the most sense. I don't think we would end up signing him.
Yep.
Game review time, guys. No game to recap, of course, because we had the bye. So we collected 2 points there, which moves us to 16th on the ladder. The only team below us is the Penrith Panthers on 9 competition points. We're on 10 competition points, guys, and 8th is the Broncos on 12 points. So our season is alive, but we need to make a run now, because if we were to go on a losing streak, when these other teams have the byes, they are just going to overtake us quickly. So we really need to start making a run at it now. So that it's not a situation where, like last season, we're chasing. We don't want that at all. So no 3-2-1s, of course, guys. But let me give you our quick affiliates recap. Brisbane Tigers, they defeat our Tweed Seagulls 38-24, but our Ipswich Jets do get a win. They defeat the Redcliffe Dolphins 22-20. That means Jets remain in 6th, Tweed fall to 9th, just outside of the top 8. Some stat call-outs for Tweed. Tommy Weaver had a try assist in over 100 metres. Tukey Simpkins, he had 43 tackles, so he again led the game tackle count. It was huge by Tukey, man. He's got to be pushing a debut for us soon. Jacob Arlek-Winke, he scored again. He had 6 tackle breaks and 30 tackles. And for the Jets, no real standouts, but Isaac returned with 47 minutes under his belt. So nice to see the big fella back out there after that concussion at the NRL level. I'll probably have to go Jacob Arlek-Winke or Tukey Simpkins for my reserves player of the week, mate. Who are you leaning with?
Yeah, man, like those two have definitely been the standouts week in, week out, haven't they? Like, I think like Tukey, like you said, he's got to be pushing a debut, maybe even this week if the boys don't back up. And I still think Jacob Arlek-Winke should be playing like for Titans. He's been good all year in Queensland Cup. He's scoring lots of tries. Like, I think he's only had 1 or 2 games for us this year off the bench.
Yeah, he hasn't been, and his minutes were limited as well, if I remember correctly.
How can he prove himself if he's not getting the minutes or not getting a chance? So
well, now Josiah is gone. It looked like in the last 2 weeks at least he had locked out a bench spot, so that does open one up. So we'll talk about that in just 1 second, but we'll answer this question here from Charlie Charlton. Thanks for joining the live stream, mate. He says, are the rumors of Sexton coming back to the Titans legit? We can't speak on the validness, I suppose, of those reports, but I think it just makes sense for us, which is probably why he's being linked to us. We don't need, but we are short at the moment on game managing halves. He would provide that. I suppose
he's been good for the Doggies this year. Like, I sort of feel sorry for Toby Sexton this year, to be honest, with what's going on with Galvin and going effective immediately. Like, he's been solid for him. They're winning the comp, and now he's going to be like, mate, just go aside. Galvin's here. It sort of does make sense, but that he comes back to us. We are missing that 7, that controlling 7. We are 100%, and we know that Foran's not going to play on next year. So yeah, we probably need someone, and it looks like it's going to be Sexton.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to signing Sexton. I would just, I suppose I would caution people and say that Sexton is a player that fits into a system.
Yeah,
he doesn't create the system, right? Yeah. Nathan, that's a bad example because he's the best halfback in the world. Adam Reynolds could go to any club and create a system in attack, and it would work around him. Toby Sexton fits into the Bulldogs system. You take Toby Sexton out and you put another halfback at the same experience as Toby, I still think the Bulldogs get the same results. However, if you take Toby out and you were to place him in a lower ranked side, I don't see Toby being able to overhaul that system. So
I agree.
It wouldn't be a bad signing, but I would just caution people that if we sign Toby Sexton, he's not going to suddenly transform our attack, and he'll still have those game managing aspects, which will very much so help us. But it's not the long term answer, and it's not the answer right now either. In my opinion.
If the Titans are looking for a short term answer right now, I would be way more opposed to giving Adam Reynolds a 1 or 2 year deal than giving Sexton a 3-4 year deal.
Yeah, exactly. Because you get someone in who can create a system, and then the moment you sign that veteran halfback, you know that it's a limited clock. There's limited time on the clock, and you're immediately looking for your succession plan, which I believe we have in Zane Harrison. Time will tell with that. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think if we can, our next half we sign should be someone that is extremely experienced toward the end of their career at DCE, an Adam Reynolds type player. And there's not too many around. So I'm thinking perfect world. And that you're basically just buying time for Zane Harrison to get a few years of reserve grade under his belt.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah. All righty, mate. Let's move on to our any changes to the team segment. Now, Dave Fafita is still a week away with his ankle injury. We are coming off a 40-24 loss to the Raiders prior to the bye. Is there any changes you'd like to see to our team, Russ? And also, do you think our origin trio will back up?
I feel like they need to back up. We're versing Storm. I don't think they will back their players up. I could be wrong. But depending on the minutes, I know I think Bo for sure will back up because he's coming off the bench. So I don't think he's going to play like huge minutes. But I feel like Tino's going to play big minutes, but we know we need him. So I feel like they will back up. Changes to the team, like you said, Josiah's not there. Give Tukey Simpkins a run, eh? I wouldn't change too much. If Brian Kelly's back, I feel like he will slot back in the centers, and they'll move Jojo back to the wing in place of Tony Francis. But that's the only change, man.
Yeah, I expect that Brian Kelly will return from that shoulder complaint. It wasn't listed as an injury. It was listed as a shoulder complaint, which makes me think it wasn't too serious. So I think Brian Kelly will slot straight back in. As for our origin trio backing up, I don't want to sound too desperate because we are only 2 points outside of the 8. But as we have touched on, that is because 4 points have come from buys. Without those buys, we would be dead last, at least 2 wins dead last behind the Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to back up. Like,
we have to.
Unless Des Hasler is absolutely certain we are no chance of beating the Melbourne Storm, maybe Des needs to leave them on the team sheet and wait and see what the Storm do. If the Storm play Cameron Munster and Harry Grant, and Des says, look, we're probably not going to win anyway, let's just keep them rested, I can live with that. And I'm a huge Titans fan, but I'm a realist.
Yeah,
we're probably not going to beat a full-strength Storm side that's coming off a loss.
No way. They like Craig Bellamy's going to be into them because they got pumped by the Sharks 2 weeks ago. There's no way they're coming here. Like, it's not going to be good, I don't reckon.
No, it's not. Boyd Star, any word on Kenny's recovery? He is back at training and running. That's all we've seen so far. at this stage. So for me, Russ, to close off the team changes, I think Brian Kelly slots straight back in. Without Josiah Pahulu, I'd like to see Tukey Simpkins or Jacob Arlick-Winky come onto the bench. And I do see our origin trio backing up if Des thinks we're a chance. If he acknowledges that we're no chance and he just thinks we're not at a stage to compete with top 4 sides right now, that's fine as well. Then I think we should just rest them and not put extra miles on their body and save them for another day. Because
but I reckon what we saw 2 weeks ago, I think Tino will want to back up. Like you saw he's going to say, no, I'm playing.
Yeah, there's no way you're keeping Tino out, in my opinion. All right, game preview time, mate. Let's move into that, guys. Go ahead if you are live here with us and let us know your thoughts on this game. Are you predicting we'll win? Some try scorers, whatever you guys are feeling. We want to see those comments roll through and bring them up on screen. We are against the Melbourne Storm, Saturday, 3 p.m. at Cbus Super Stadium. This is a tough game. There's no doubts about it. There's no two ways about it. I will say, in our last meeting against the Melbourne Storm at home, they were without Cameron Munster, and then Tino got ruled out late for us, and we only lost 22-20 when we were on a 4-game losing streak at that stage. So we did put in a competitive effort.
Yep.
I do feel an upset here could really spark some belief into our season. Like it could bring it a new life almost.
Yeah.
It just feels laboured so far our season. Like we're only in contention for the 8 at the moment due to the buys. I haven't really got that sense besides the Knights and Roosters back-to-back wins that, you know, we're finding our identity as a team so far this year. We're kind of in second gear, just holding. We know we're not quite there, but we're not making changes. So I feel like if we were to upset the Storm here, it could seriously do something special for us for the next few weeks. Yeah, and it's not like it's not quite now or never territory, Russ, but you'd rather make it up now while you can, rather than lose a few games and then, we must win our next 10. Because we don't handle pressure that well. No. So for me, I'm not coming into this one confident, mate. But those are my early thoughts for the game, mate. What are yours?
Yeah, like we're going to have everything go right for this game, aren't we? Like we're really going to be hoping that they don't back up and our players do back up, really. It's going to be a hard one for us. Like I just feel like them coming off a big loss to the Sharks, I just feel like it's going to be really hard. And I give us maybe like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. It's going to be a massive upset. We have to do everything right.
Yeah, a lot of things need to go our way. G'day, Cal J from YouTube. He's going to be at this game. You're going to be there or not. Probably not at this stage for either of us, I believe. But the Frontline will be there. And you are absolutely welcome in there anytime, my friend. We would love to grow the Frontline through this podcast and grow a community where we're all excited to catch up at the games that we do get to. Origin players. All right, I think that's within our favour. Now, they are closer to the top of the ladder, so it doesn't make sense for their best players in Cameron Munster and Harry Grant to back up. It's an unnecessary risk, in my opinion, particularly when Bronson Garlick, Jonah Pezzett, and Tyron Wishart provide more than adequate depth across those positions. Utu Ikamanu, he should be there. He's only in the wider squad, and perhaps Trent Loiero because he's coming off the interchange. But I think the key for us is we need Munster and Grant not to back up. We absolutely need that just to bring them back a step towards us. Yeah. That being said, even like we just
still got Hughes, Pappenhausen. They've still got their big players. Like I actually don't think they will risk Munster and Grant. I think they will sit out, depending on how physical the game is on Wednesday night. But they've still got so many stars, and like you said, Garlick's been playing good. Wishart always steps up. So even with them not playing, there's so much danger on that field.
Yep. Bronson Garlick in his last game at starting 9 scored a try, set another up. Jonah Pezzett would be returning to the NRL after a long layoff from ACL, but then they do get Tyron Wishart there, who was exceptional last year when stepping in for Munster. So this is going to be tough no matter how you look at it. But I have a stat here that will really exemplify to Titans fans how tough this is going to be. The Melbourne Storm have won their last 18 from 18 games coming off a loss.
Yeah.
They rarely lose back-to-back, guys, because Craig Bellamy doesn't allow the standards to drop. And when they do, he puts an arrow in the room and he says, if this continues for a second week, there's going to be trouble. And the Storm have gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss this year. At some stage, you know a coach of his pedigree is going to draw the line and say no more. And I'm sure, with respect to our club, Craig Bellamy would be licking his lips at this opportunity to put on a show here and really
Well, look what
get
they
their
did.
season back on track.
Look what they did a couple of weeks ago, before the Sharks game. Didn't they put 70 on Tigers?
64, I think it was. Yeah, 64
Yeah.
nil.
Like, Pappenhausen scored 38 points by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
equal the NRL record.
If they start strong and we're not on our game, they will do that to us.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt they can do that to us. In terms of point scoring averages, they are averaging 33 points per game this year. We only average 21, and we are conceding an average of 31, where they only concede an average of 20. So our averages are close, but the opposite way to what we want them in this one. So I think even if we play a really good game here, like an 8 out of 10, we still need some luck. There's no denying that. The key to victory for me, if there is to be a victory, is offloads. Mm-hmm. I think when you verse the Melbourne Storm, you need to trouble them with second phase play, and you need to try to disrupt their defensive system, because it is really, really good, where if they miss a tackle, their players are all scrambling and they're all fighting from minute 1 to 80, and they're going to get there still. When we beat the Knights in both of our games this year and the Roosters, the key theme in those 3 wins has been the amount of offloads. We are a team with fast players like Jaden Campbell that we want to get that offload and get that opportunity to break through. What that does then is their line doesn't quite get set. Then Tino's next hit up is exceptional. Then he gets a fast play the ball, and before you know it, our opposition are kind of like, okay, there's a roll on here, and they can't quite get set for what we're going to throw at them next.
Yeah.
Vice versa to that, though, Russ. When we versed the Raiders in both games this year, besides the 18 points we scored quick in the first half of the first game, we haven't offloaded, and there
was no offloading last game. Yep, there was no offload. We've always had, every game this year, we've had a period where we've had like 10, 15 minutes where we've looked good.
Yeah,
there's only been one game where we put full 80 together, and that's when the Knights, when we beat them the first time, and they looked absolutely terrible. It's the only game that we put a full 80 together.
Spot on, mate. And look, I don't have the full answers for this game. I'll say this. If we try to go set for set with the Melbourne Storm at a conservative pace and kick to corners and high completion rates and do all those footy cliches that coaches love, we are no chance. No. Stats tell us that. Form tells us that. History tells us that. The team list that will come out on paper tomorrow will tell us that. So whilst I would really love an upset, I'd probably only give us a 2 out of 10 chance here. It is the least confident I've been on a game all year. Yep. I haven't checked.
I still have Storm as my favourites to win the comp. I know they're hovering around 4th, 5th, but I reckon when the time's right, I feel like they're the team that's going to win the comp this year.
Oh, spot on, mate. I've still got them as my premiership pick as well. So whilst we are huge Titans fans, I'm sure our listeners can appreciate that we're in a tough spot here in terms of tipping our team, because we are up against who we expect to win the premiership. So fingers crossed, a lot of things go our way, guys, but this will be a very tough game. And at worst, it'll be a good measure of where we're at. We don't want to get pumped 64-0 like the Tigers did. If we can keep it close, that's almost a win for us.
A close game. If we're competitive in this game and go down by a try, but we look good, mate, you'll take that against the Storm. If we go down 2016 or something and we look all right, mate, we will take that. And that'll give the club, the supporters, even the players, confidence. Because you go right now and you know the Storm are a top 4 team every year. So you know that's the benchmark. So if we can put a good 80 minutes against the club and just come short, I will take that.
No, spot on, man. I think if we get smashed in this game, it'll be very demoralizing. If we cause a shock upset, it'll be the complete opposite. It'll actually bring a lot of spark to our season. And if we keep it close, we can take some positives from it. So although we expect us to lose, and I suspect 99.9% of people are tipping the Storm in this one, the reward, if we get the win, is pretty significant, and we have to believe in that as Titans fans. So fingers crossed we can do that, guys. But at this point, we will close the show for this week, guys. Again, a shorter episode without our game to preview and review. It is Origin week. A huge shout out to all of our men and women playing in the State of Origin games on Wednesday and Thursday night. We hope they all play well and get through without injury. All right, guys, we will see you next week, same time, live in all the same places to break down the Storm game, preview the next, and talk all things Gold Coast Titans with you guys. So thank you very much for being with us, and we'll see you then. Cheers, Russ. Go the Titans.
Boy.